Hey guys, welcome to another video on Budget with a July Dreamer. My name is Miranda, and on this channel I share with you everything personal finance as well as lifestyle content in the form of vlogs. Today's video is going to be about my Vanguard ISA and the plans that I have to maximize the ISA. So if you didn't know, in the UK we have an ISA, which stands for Individual Savings Account. This is our most tax efficient vehicle that we have in the UK, and we have an allowance of £20,000. Since I have been investing over the last 10 years, I have never maxed out an ISA, so I'm looking forward to trying it for the first time ever during this 2025 into 2026 financial year. I'm very excited. I do have my trusted notebook here because I wrote down the numbers from the last ISA update I gave you, and then I have my trusted mobile here because we're going to do a screen record and I'll walk you through my Vanguard app. And like I said, we're just going to be focusing on the Vanguard ISA, not going to focus on the SIP at all. So without further ado, let us begin. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just maybe scooch a little bit to the right and put either a table somewhere this side where my update from back in September. I gave you an update in September of where my ISA was. So the ISA value at the time of sharing that video was 12,834 and 11 pence. In that video, I also showed you how I invest, which we're not going to do in today's video. We're just going to focus purely on the funds that I'm currently investing in and how much they were in September and where we are today. So starting off first with I'll call it the FTSE UK, not the full name, but I'll put the full name in this video. The FTSE UK, I was at 2,492 and 26 pence in September. Then the high yield dividend one, I was at 2,709 and 8 pence. The global all cap index fund, I was at £5,008.35, and then the S&P 500, I was at 2,424 and 37 pence. So that's where I was with these funds. And the allowance, the ISA allowance balance when I was filming the video was at 18,200. So now what I'm going to do is go into the Vanguard app, and I am going to do a screen record and show you guys what it currently looks like. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so everything I'm showing you is what I am doing. Does not mean to say you should be doing this. So going into my stocks and shares ISA, you can see already that my current balance is 22,438 and 42 pence. I was at 12,834 and 11 pence back in September. The reason is because I've added in a lot of money. I talked about this in the video where I said I'll be restructuring my investments, and also where I talked about losing money because I sold some company shares. So that all ties in with this video. So this is the current value of my account, and we'll go down to the ISA allowance. You can see at the top of the screen. So it's now at £9,000 exactly. Like I said, back in September it was at 18,200, and now it's at exactly £9,000, and I have until the 5th of April next year to be able to pay into this amount into this ISA. So if we go down to the funds, so starting off with the FTSE UK Equity Income Index Fund accumulation. So with this one, my current value is 5,381 and 48 pence. In September it was just under 2,500, and now we're just under 5,400. Like I said, I've put in a lot of money into this fund because obviously taken from the general investment account, I've paid it into this fund, so you can see it actually going up. But yeah, so that is for the UK equity fund. If I go to the high yield dividend, I was at 2,700. I'm currently at, let's go and see. I'm currently at 5,309 and 30 pence. So again, this is because I've added in a lot of money into this fund. The next one is the Global All Cap Index Fund. I added in some money with this one as well. So my current value is 7,197 and 11 pence. I was at 5,000 back in September. And then the final one that I do have is the S&P 500 distributing ETF. So this one, I am currently at 4,550 and 54 pence. I was at 2,424 and 37 pence. So just under 2,500 with this one as well, which is great. I love it. For me, I'm going to take a screenshot so I can remember for including it into the video. And everything is kind of invested in equity funds. If I take you into the transactions, you can see my investing since, let me see if I can see since September. So that's October. Okay. So September, since the video I filmed was on the 21st of September, and I was investing £200. So I was at that time putting in 300, then 100 would directly go to the Global All Cap Index Fund at the bottom, and then the 200 I would have it in as cash because I wanted to choose where I invested, like of the other three pots where funds where I invested in for that month. So the 200 that I had, I sent 100 towards the high yield dividend and then the other 100 towards the S&P 500. And I mentioned in that video that because these two are ETFs, I can only buy fractional shares. So I always do this so that whatever is left, I then send towards one of the funds, either the UK equity or the Global All Cap. So once they both went through, there was £49.22 that was left. So I sent that to the UK Equity Income Index Fund. Then in October, I did the same thing, £100. I sent that goes directly to the Global All Cap. And then for the other monies, I sent 125, I think at this point, 125, I sent it towards the FTSE All World dividend because this actually incorporated the, what was it? Was it this one that incorporated the dividends? I think so, but I could be wrong. So I invested into this and I bought 116.77 pounds worth of the All World, and then the second one was the ETF, which I also did 100 and something, and it bought me 94 pounds worth of something of fraction a share. And then when I was what was left from that, I set it to the UK Equity Income Index Fund. Then this one, yes, this one was the money from the dividends. Yes, this was from the money from the dividends. So I sent it towards the high yield dividend thingamajiggy. And then as you can see here with the All World, this large amount, 1,257 25 and 70 pence, I actually put in 1,300, and of that I bought 21 units for 1,255 and 70 pence. So this is after I had sold the shares within the company that I worked for because that's a general investment account, and moved them over. Then I also sent about £1,000 towards the S&P 500, and it bought me 10 units for 983 and 25 pence. Then I sent 1,500 to the UK equity index. Then I sent 1,000 towards the Global All Cap. I sent about £200 towards the S&P 500, about £500, no, for £300 yeah, £300. I bought 5 units there to the all world high yield dividend. And then I was just playing like, okay, I invested in this, let me send the other money to this one. I sent another 100 towards the S&P 500, another 250 to the all world dividend, another 250 to global all cap, 250 to UK equity, and then the other 250 towards the S&P 500, but I only got 198 worth of ETF. And then I've just been playing like that, but I've made sure that all the monies that I've gotten from the company shares that I sold, as well as the plum funds that I had, I've moved it all in here. So this is £500 that I put in, and then the rest is coming from selling of my shares, which you can see has been quite a bit. So I did a lot of investing in the month of October, and then in November some of what I had sold cleared as well, so I bought some of that. I used that money, about 1,000, was it about 1,000 or thereabouts, I invested into Vanguard in all of the funds. I try to split the money as I saw fit. So that's what I have been doing this entire month. And then I have changed up contributions from £300 to £500 to come into my ISA. And this is what my account is looking like. So there has definitely been a jump from the last time I gave you guys an update. Like I said, I was at 12,834 and 11 pence. I'm currently at 22,438 and 42 pence, and I think I've put in about 9,000, because even though it was 18,200, the 200 was already in the account in September. So £9,000 is what I've been able to put in. I've taken from my general investment accounts. Technically, I have taken, I think, about 13 or thereabouts, 13 or 14,000 pounds I've taken from my general investment accounts and moved it towards my my ISA. So that is where I am with my ISA. I'm gonna stop the screen record. And now with the ISA allowances, you can see I now have £9,000 that I have to invest to max this out. But because I have a LISA, a lifetime ISA, I am investing £75 every single month in that pot. So with that one, I've invested so far, I think £600 or thereabouts. So I don't exactly have 9,000 left. I think I have about 8,200. I just don't know where like my numbers are, but hopefully when I'm editing this video, I'll be able to put in like the actual numbers that I have of like what is left for me to still invest to max out the pots in the Vanguard. In Vanguard itself, even though it's a 9,000, I will probably just invest maybe another 7,000 in there, and that will be maxed out because the rest would have been invested in the LISA. So how I'm planning to actually do this is I do get a bonus February, March time. So I'm hoping to send a big chunk of my bonus towards that. But between now and then, I'll be sending as much as I can towards my ISA to help me max it out. I'm very excited. Just the thought of having maxed out £20,000 in one tax year makes me really, really happy, like really happy. But yeah, I'm very happy about that, and I cannot wait to officially come back to you guys and announce that I maxed out my ISA for 2025-2026 tax year. I'm very excited about that, and moving forward, hopefully I'll continue maxing them out every single year. But that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video real soon.